In this video, I'll take you on a resort tour of Royalton Splash and talk about the pros and cons of this family all-inclusive resort. The first pro is the distance to the Cancun airport. After getting into the transfer, we were at the airport in about 20 minutes. You can see the decorations. I was there during the World Cup. As you head towards the pools from the lobby, you find this air conditioned lobby bar. Honestly, I didn't see it until the second day I was here. So you can find it a little bit earlier than I can. This is a great air conditioned spot in the evening. You'll overlook the theater area and all the pools. This is a large resort. It has over 1,000 rooms and a water park I'm going to show you later, lots of great oceanfront pools, and then the big theater area in the middle. Hi, I'm Angie, a travel agent who's personally visited over 200 all-inclusive resorts. I use my personal knowledge and expertise to help travelers like you make great decisions for their all-inclusive vacations. Email Angie at tripswithangie.com and ask about the current offer for YouTube subscribers. Back in the lobby, we're going to start by going to the right as you're looking at the beach. There are several banks of elevators throughout the buildings, so you're never too far from an elevator, which is nice. The Diamond Club is a special category of room you can book that has exclusive amenities. One of the amenities is this Diamond Club Lounge. This is where you'll complete your check-in as you're part of the Diamond Club. You will meet your butler here. It's important to download the WhatsApp app because that is how you're going to communicate with your butler. Throughout the day, they set up this mini buffet. I was really impressed with what they had for breakfast. I'm not used to seeing like a hot food setup like this at some of the other club lounges at some of the other all-inclusive resorts. Heading left as we exit the Diamond Lounge, we're going to find two of the a la carte dinner restaurants. Reservations are required. You can make those reservations in the app once you check in. Diamond Club members have an advantage. They're able to get reservations for one additional day when they check in. Zen is the teppanyaki restaurant. This is very popular. They try to have 3 seatings per night to have everyone have a chance to go in. And if you keep going down the hallway past the Zen, you're going to find one of the hardest restaurants to find, I think, and that's Mameison. This is the French adults only restaurant. It looks like a secret club to get in because all there is are these 2 mirrored doors. And it took me a minute to figure out like, oh, this is where I'm supposed to go. Inside, it's really pretty. It has beautiful chandeliers. I really enjoyed the food here. I thought the tuna salad was absolutely delicious. One of the best things I had at the resort. And the lobster cream or lobster soup was also very good. I also had the lamb chops. Heading back into the lobby, we're going to go the other way now. We're going to go left as you're looking at the beach. Up in the left-hand corner there, you're going to find the coffee shop, Cafe Lounge. This is where you'll have your included specialty coffees and teas. They also had smoothies, juices, and a variety of sandwiches and pastries in the morning. Heading back around towards the lobby, you can see this was again the check-in area. It does get quite busy and crowded in the morning because this is where everyone also meets for their excursions. Don't worry, it'll clear out once everyone gets on their buses. Heading down the hallway, we're going to find Agave. So this is the a la carte dinner Mexican restaurant. A la carte just means you order off of a menu. You sit down and order. They have tremendous guacamole, enchiladas, and I also really enjoyed their fish tacos. Heading through the sliding doors to the left of the Agave entrance, we'll find Shaken in one of the best resort gift shops I've ever seen. They had so many unique handcrafted souvenir items. Shaken is the mixology bar. They do have a mixologist on staff. It's open between 5 p.m. and 11 p.m. each evening with all different types of craft cocktails. We would walk through here sometimes at night and you could just smell the smoke from the smoky old fashioned and smoky whiskey drinks he was making. There's another look at the entrance to Agave, just so you can kind of see where it is. Heading down the hallway, we're going to head to the indoor theater, and it's a little bit of a walk. So this is one of the cons of this resort is how far away everything is because it is so big. Pro tip, if you are bringing a little one, you may want to bring a stroller. After coming down that hallway, we're going to find another of the restaurants. This is Smoke, the barbecue and Southern cuisine restaurant. It's always funny to me when we end up in all-inclusive resorts in Mexico or the Caribbean and they have American food, but they have it because it's popular. People want a taste of home, or for people who are coming from other countries, maybe they want a little taste of the United States as well, I guess. So it looks like a barbecue joint with the wooden stools and booths. It has indoor air conditioned seating as well as an outdoor terrace where you can enjoy the view over the pool area. And it has this cute little waiting area because even though you do make a reservation, you may have to wait for a little bit as they prepare your table. Heading to the indoor theater, this is where they set up the World Cup activities. They did such a phenomenal job with this. This is one of the pros of staying at a Royalton resort. They have what they call the sports guarantee. If there is a major sporting event going on, they will have it. They will buy the satellite rights. They will figure out how to show it. But they really went above and beyond for World Cup. So they set up this stand so you could feel like you were in the bleachers. They had special drinks. They had this special little buffet with all kinds of fan favorite foods, like chicken tenders, buffalo wings, chips and salsa. They had the bleachers, chairs all set up in the front for $50 or $100. You could buy special VIP seating. Now, I timed my walk back to my room from this, which is kind of like the edge of the resort. I was in building 19. Building 16 is about the lobby area. Heading down, you can see these are open air hallways and they can get a little loud, especially if there are people right outside your room. I did hear some noise bouncing around a couple times throughout my stay. There are elevators per each building. Like I said before, those ran very well. There was only one elevator we had a little bit of trouble with, but they all worked. They were all available. I was in 19607. So this was a Diamond Club Junior Suite. Heading inside, you see it has the 2 sinks, the water closet, toilet, whatever you call it in your country. They have the bottled water. You cannot drink the water here. No one drinks it, not even the people that live here. So you'll use bottled water to brush your teeth and anything else you want to drink. I love this shower room. I love when the bathtub is in the same room as the shower. It makes it so easy to pop out of the bathtub and rinse off. You have the handheld as well as the rainforest head. It had shampoo, conditioner, bath gel, and lotion all available. They also had hand soap and then shower cap if you needed it. Here's a closer look. This was like tea tree oil. It worked pretty well. Outside, you'll find the closet. It did come with robes and slippers, and it had plenty of space. I think if you were here for 3 or 4 nights, if you brought a full wardrobe, you may not have enough. There was a safe. There was also a steamer, and the steamer worked very well according to the friends I met on this trip. They are connecting, so it will connect a king to 2 beds. This is the minibar area, so you can see more bottled water, 1 set of snacks. Because of Diamond Club, the snacks are once per trip. It is Pepsi products. They did have Dos Equis and Coors Light. The minibar, the drinks get replaced daily. We also got a nice little bag we could use throughout our stay and take home with us. There was a fan that helped with the air conditioning. I was cool enough with the fan turned on, so that was good to know. They have the upper lock in case you do have kids in the room. I love that they have a place to hang your bathing suit to dry. This is considered an ocean view. You look over the resort to the ocean. The 2 chairs were very comfortable, some of the better furniture I've seen. Here's a look at what I'm calling the middle splash park for the middle-aged kids. Then you have all these umbrellas, lots of shade, huge oceanfront pools, and then looking out to the beach. When I showed up, there was a foam party going on, which I thought was so fun. So they definitely have a lot of poolside activities during your stay. Now we're going to head back down. The resort does have a spa and fitness centers. Those are located on the 6th floor. The spa hydrotherapy is excellent. I couldn't get a picture of it, but excellent. So if you enjoy a spa, you'll enjoy that. Now we're down on the pool level. They have a huge lazy river. I'm going to point out kind of where it goes around the splash park. You can also opt for a swim up suite. So these are the swim up suites here on the ground level. But then you have this splash park for like middle-aged young kids, I would say, and then the lazy river. And I'll keep pointing it out as we go around. It is a really long lazy river, which I love. We have a Pier 27 gift shop here. Those are at a number of different resorts. It's not as special as the one that's up near Agave. It's kind of your standard beach toys, pool toys, sunscreen, things you might have forgotten. Heading back towards the water park. So there's a much larger water park. This is also where the kids club is located. They have a number of kids activities for all different ages, both drop off and family friendly, depending on what you want to do. And then heading in to the water park, this has 10 adventurous slides. The height limit is 1.2 meters or 4 feet. And look, the lazy river is still going all the way back through here. Some of the slides require rafts, some don't. And then here's the splash park for the little ones, the little ones. So you have the little ones here, the middle kids out by the pools, and then the big kids and adults can ride these slides. The lines were pretty decent during our time here. People did seem to kind of like do the lazy river, come do some slides, do the lazy river, but you should be prepared to wait in lines. One thing I think the resort does very well is its grab and go food. I know a lot of families want to be able to just grab something to eat in their bathing suit, not have to go in and sit down at a restaurant. So out here by the water park, there is the pizza place. So you can get made to order pizzas. Now, again, they're made to order, so you may have to wait for a little bit. So you might want to pre-order those before the kids get, or your family members get a case of the hangries, but they have a pizza oven out here, made to order, great option for lunch. Also in this area is an indoor option with tons of games. So you saw the bowling alley there, there's a trampoline park. These are extra costs. So these are not included with the all-inclusive, but it is a great option. It has a video arcade. You can see some of the games here. This operates like a standard video arcade. You buy a card and play the different games. They have the trampoline, which is $15 per person for 30 minutes. They also have laser tag that you can play. So set up as teams within your family. That also is an extra charge. But again, it's just great to have these options on site if it's too hot or too rainy. A couple places throughout the resort, there's going to be a resort map that will help you find where different things are. This is super helpful. Take a picture of it. In this area, we'll also find the Cave restaurant. So this is an additional charge dining experience. It's just located behind the side of the Italian to go. So you kind of walk past the Italian to go, make a right, and then make a left to the cave. Reservations are required. It's a multi-course dining experience. One of the persons I was with did it, and she said it was really, really good. Heading back out towards the pools, we're going to find Score. This is the sports bar. So this is another place that would play those games that I was talking about before, those sports games that are guaranteed. Has a pool table, has a bar. It turns pretty lively in the evening. This is kind of where people come to hang out after the evening shows. Next to Score, we're going to find Taj, the Indian cuisine dinner restaurant. So again, you do need reservations. When you book in the app, you can book for tonight and tomorrow night if you have a regular room. If you have a Diamond Club room, you can book for tonight, tomorrow night, and the next night. So that gives Diamond Club room a slight advantage over getting a dinner reservations. This is a challenging part of staying here. I'm going to be completely honest. Getting dinner reservations can be extremely challenging. So if you are coming here, I would just plan that you're going to eat in the buffet a few nights during your stay. I don't think that's a terrible thing. I enjoyed the buffet. I had it for breakfast every day. I thought they had a wide variety of items. They had a lot of made fresh sections, but just know that getting dinner reservations will be challenging even if you are in Diamond Club. For the splash park, a reminder, your parents need to be with their children. There is a nice little Scoops gelato stand right next to the splash park, so a good afternoon break, and it was very good. The sorbet in particular was excellent. We were all raving about it by the end of this day. Rio is the Brazilian grill. So this is a good option for dinner. It's like a quasi buffet for dinner. So you have basically like someone who walks around with meat as it's cooked, and then a big buffet for sides and salads. This is the breakfast for the Diamond Club members. It is a buffet, and it was great. I thought it was a great setup. They put me in the farthest corner of it, I guess because I was by myself. They put me in this like really far back corner from the buffet. So they always had poached eggs, beans, scrambled eggs, sausages, chilaquiles with 3 different sauces, made to order omelets, all the different salsas, your typical waffles, pancakes. They also had different types of tamales and stews, like different types of like pork stew. They have all the different boxed cereals. This is the Diamond Club buffet. The regular buffet, which I'm going to show you where that is later, was just as big and had even more options. They have all types of sweet treats. They do have a separate section for gluten-free items that are in their own separate case. As with all inclusives, you're definitely going to have that charcuterie board. This in particular had a lot more sashimi and sushi available than I've seen at other all-inclusive resorts. The bread stand with the toasters and the rolls, and then of course all of the incredible fruit. I think this is one of the best parts of staying at an all-inclusive is all of the local fruits. You have different dips, you can make a salad. They have all different kinds of fruit juices, which was really lovely. So lots of choice. Continuing down the walkway, we're going to get to the mix bar. So we're now almost to the center of the resort. The mix is the martini bar. It's the evening bar when everybody's watching the show. The seating you can see here within the boundary is the outdoor seating for the buffet. It is really nice. You can actually see the show from there. So if you wanted to do a later dinner at the buffet, you would have prime seatings to get at least a little bit of view of what was happening. They had plenty of chairs for the shows. I loved the Mexico night here. They brought in outside vendors for souvenir shopping. They set up a wrestling ring and had wrestling and then a mariachi band. Another night was circus night. So they brought in this huge inflatable slide and had a great dance show to the Greatest Showman soundtrack. The buffet on the other side has another mix bar. So it's mix bar, buffet seating, mix bar. And then additional like seating and couches around outside of that, another resort map in case you need it. And then here's the actual entrance to the buffet. It's called Marche. So this is where you would come in on the right side as you're facing the beach. They have another beautiful dining room. This is a wine tasting area. They have a special extra charge culinary experience here. And down at the other end of the resort, we're going to find Hunter, the Steakhouse. So this is one of the more popular options. This is one where you really will have to try to get reservations every single day because it's a fan favorite. All the Royaltons have them and they really, really like them. You can see it does have seating for larger parties. The largest party you want to try to sit together is 10, and you might have better luck if you even split into smaller parties. Now we're all the way to the right on the resort as you face the beach. This is a lazy river for just Diamond Club. So this section here is all Diamond Club exclusive pools. So Diamond Club has their own very small lazy river, very small compared to the one over by the big water park. It has their own set of pools as well as swim up bar. Prime, you'll see signs for Prime. This is their vacation club, timeshare, pre-buy your vacation program. So you will see some areas throughout the resort marked for Prime. That's what it's for. That's what it means. There's plenty of umbrellas, very comfortable chairs. It was easy to find towels. The swim up bar was great. The bartenders were great. Again, Angie's pro tip, be sure to call your alcohol. They will make your drink with whatever is in the well unless you specify a brand that you want used. That's how they all work. So just be sure you're calling out what you want, asking what they have available. There's another restaurant here. This is Italian Grab and Go by the water park. This is the sit down version for Diamond Club members right here next to the pool. Very easy to access. Beautiful, right on the ocean. So a great choice for dining, especially in the evening. Heading over here, this is the Diamond Club pool that's closest. Basically has an infinity edge looking over the beach. You can see staring down there. There are some mangroves and vegetation that protect the beach. The beach is a little bit eroded. That is very common for this area of Riviera Maya. So they're keeping the vegetation to prevent further erosion. There is a Diamond Club beach bar. Let's head down to the beach. So we walk through this little bit of vegetation, and then we're going to head down to the Diamond Club beach area. So there's a special set of chairs for people who have booked in Diamond Club rooms. Notice the umbrellas. I'm a big shade person, so you can tell I just keep commenting on the number of umbrellas because I think it's important. They are all cloth umbrellas. You can see the tractors. They are removing seaweed. So this beach had less seaweed than some of the other ones I visited in the area on this trip because they have put up a net barrier to try to stop some of the seaweed from coming in. They're clearly out working very hard this morning. This was about 7 a.m. They have the big tractor as well as people individually raking seaweed. I think they did a very good job. I didn't notice it as much as I did at some of the other resorts we visited. We were very lucky to have a bit of a breeze. It was very hot and humid during our stay. Be sure to hydrate while you're here. I know when you're in the pool, it doesn't seem like you need to, but it's really important. There were ramps throughout the resort. You couldn't get absolutely everywhere via ramp, but there were several ramps throughout the resort. Now we are in the pool area for regular guests. They do have these special private pool cabanas you can rent. So you can rent those for the day. You'll have a great spot right poolside. You'll notice there isn't stuff on chairs here that sometimes, when I'm up walking around at 7 a.m., you'll find things on chairs. I didn't see a lot of the chair hogs. I don't think there was a lot of competition while we were there. It wasn't like 100% occupancy because it was June in the World Cup, but it was easy to get a chair when you wanted one. Here's another one of those great grab and go options. So they have these little food trucks around, makes it super easy to grab food and then head back to the pool. This is the main pool swim up bar. It's two-sided, one side on land, one side in the water. You have the chairs in the water. I love that they have trees in the pool. They're eventually going to grow even bigger to give shade in the pool. And I love just how it looks, that you look out and you just see all the palm trees on that infinity edge. Every day, the resort would put out a list of activities. So here's where you can get the towels in the activity center. So there'd be poolside activities. There would be activities on the beach. Lots of things going on throughout the day to keep both adults and families busy. So make sure to check in the app. Let me give you an example of some. On a Thursday when I was there at the main pool, they had 10 a.m. started with question of the day, then aqua volleyball, then the fan fest opening. They had a Mexican game, a violin player, a soccer contest. They showed a soccer match. Here's another one of the quick grab and go food trucks. So again, lots of options to grab and go. They had aqua volleyball in the afternoon, beach volleyball in the afternoon. At the splash pool, which is the other family pool, they had more volleyball and more beach volleyball. They also had activities at the diamond pool. They had guessing games in the evenings. Things would kick off about 6:30, and then at 8 o'clock they would have just dance competitions, bingo, pop show, and then the main shows taking place at 9 p.m. So lots of things going on. You can see there's a lot of different pool areas. There are some safe chairs. I guess these people really like this pool in particular. So these chairs were saved. So we did find a couple people who got up early. But these are the ones near the water park. And then I love that they're all infinity edge. So you really feel like you're part of the landscape. As you can see, there's also another swim up bar. So they try to mirror some things, throughout the property because it is so big to make sure everybody has access to everything. All right, that is the Royalton Splash. What did you think? Let me know in the comments. And here's some more videos YouTube and I thought you might like.